Good morning, traders, and this is your Aussie South African top 40 day trade setup for today. So we ended up with a pretty big green bar, but it was also a day of confusion, and I'll explain that in the lower time frame. Bear in mind we've got crappy data again, so this tail is non-existent. We actually opened pretty much at our low and closed fairly close to our high. So these two lines open and close. Okay, so if we look to the left, you can see quite a bit of congestion here, and that's pretty much where we are in. However, where the buyer stepped in, I don't really see. Okay, I suppose that inside tail there, quite a bit to the left, but quite a few months away. But anyway, let's get down to lower time frames. There's nothing really on the daily that we can work with. Okay, so this green bar here is invalid. Okay, so pretty much it was this green bar, then indecision, then another indecision, another indecision. Okay, the interesting thing though is that we've got a grouping here of the oscillators. Okay, so no other diversions or anything like that, but we're not quite off a level. I suppose on the 3 hour we are sort of on a level here. Look there, there's my inside tail, so that was a buying opportunity there. But yeah, that was also a gap below the closing range strategy. Let's just get rid of that one for me quickly. Okay, just going to get right down to the levels that we can trade, and I'm almost sure it's going to be closing range again. Oh yeah, so here's some interesting things to start looking out for. So the first thing is, we spoke about this yesterday. So there is my wedge. Okay, there's my wedge. I've had a breakout. However, if I now adjust that to there, which is probably the right thing to do right now, you can see we seem to be interacting with this, and we formed a different trend line. So our line in the sand right now, I'll start using these lines, is pretty much the high of yesterday. If we get above the high of yesterday, that's going to break this consolidation pattern, and we're going to see a moving average crossover as well. And this is on the hour, so that's going to give me the confidence for piling in the longs, right? At this stage, I'm not entirely convinced that this move here is over. I think we're probably going to get another view of this level to the bottom side, to the downside. We still do have a gap here. Okay, there's the gap, which is open. None of these bars have actually closed this gap, so that gap is still open. And if I look a little bit to the left, there's nothing really there. Except if I look a little bit further to the left, you'll see I do have a few levels here. So this is a level of some significance. Just looking at there we go, on the 3 hour, there it is. That's this bottom red line here. That's my inside tail. This is not an inside tail. There's my first inside tail. This is my second one. So we hit the first one. I'm kind of inclined to believe that we're going to find some resistance here and move back down, form some sort of a double bottom. Okay, so we are waiting for news out of the US and China with the trade war this week. Probably fueling this fire quite dramatically at the moment. Anyway, look at the half hour. So immediately when you look at the half hour, you can see tails, 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 tails. So no clear direction except for the opening move, that was all done in the first 5-minute candle, and then sideways, and then the second move. Okay, and I'm always talking about the second move. I don't know if that is a little bit short. Okay, and normally you would expect it to move back up to this level here. Okay, don't really see what stopped the buyers, unless they were looking at that. But even that, there is a close above the swing high. My next swing high is there, which I suppose that's the one that they were looking at there. But anyway, hindsight's always a perfect science when the market's so messy like this. Okay, so let's just have a look at what happened with closing range. I think closing range would have been a disaster yesterday. More than likely would have got you stopped out. So we didn't hit the range target to the downside. And with this setup over here, you would have been expecting, okay, there's another move to the downside. And we didn't get it. Okay, we then broke through and hit the range target to the upside. Okay, so yesterday was a bit of a null and void day. So if you traded that, it would have been one of those days where it didn't work out. Now, because of the size of the range currently, I think I'll take cognizance of it, but I'm definitely not going to bother trading that because that is a 100-point range. So 100-point range, not really interested in that. And with all these tails all over the place, there's no structure. There's no real opportunity except for this one. Okay, that is my wedge. I've broken through, gone sideways. I'd like to see a retest of this. So ideally what I'd like to see is a move to the downside, pretty much where this bar is close to, and then give me some diversions at the same time. And I'll want to see that on the hour. Now you can see the Williams percentage R is grouping to the upside already. Okay, this is in the middle of nowhere. There's nothing really implying anything at the moment from my oscillator perspective. So apart from the fact that the current 1 hour trend is down. Okay, not convincingly down, but it is down. Lots of confusion. So I really would like to see structure. If I can see some structure, then we can start looking at it. Now, the problem that we do have with the current structure is shoulder, head, potentially another shoulder here for a break to the downside. Okay, so there's a lot going on at the moment, and I'm almost convinced that this breakout here was now retested with this bar. Okay, what's putting me off isn't following bar. So if we just zoom in, okay, so this here was the breakout. Okay, let's get rid of the wedge. And often when you've got so many confusing things in the chart, I prefer to stay out of it. Okay, so there is my level breakout. You can see we broke below that, broke below it. We then came and tested it with this bar. Now what I'm looking for is a confirmation bar to confirm that that was a retest. This is not a valid confirmation bar because the buyer stepped in. You see that with the tail, and then we had an inside bar. So this area here, to me, is confusion. Okay, so on one side of the coin, you're looking at a wedge break. Now you're looking for a retest and then to get in long again. And on the other side of the coin, this could be a trend reversal because you're now testing this breakout. Okay, so one of the ways we can actually look at this is just pull up a different view of this, and I'll use the ichimoku. For ichimoku, I want to work with the 4 hour and the daily, and you can see, ignore this green bar, it's non-valid. You can see the retest here on this 4 hour bar is a retest of Kijinsen. So a break below the 4 hour low of this bar is going to validate a trade to the downside. Okay, support is still very strong here, so the trend is still up. Trend is up, but Kijinsen and Kijinsen are flat. You'd expect some kind of a pullback or some kind of a holding pattern to go sideways until Kijinsen and Kijinsen get together. Okay, because they prefer running together like this. Okay, so anyway, so that just highlights the confusion at the moment. So I think for me on this market, I'm not entirely convinced I want to be long or short at the moment. So I'm going to have one last look at the 12 minutes, and that just adds fuel to the fire of what I'm looking at. You can see this massive bar in the beginning. That was the first 5 minute bar, and then pretty much sideways, little squirt, and then down. Okay, so this is still confusion for me. And if I look at the oscillators grouping back the upside, no clear direction, so I think I'm staying out of this. Don't know what's going to transpire today, but it could be a wedge retest, which I'll be looking for. Okay, so I'll be looking for some kind of a structure along that line. Okay, because that was my original 1, 2, 3 touches, 4 touches, 5 touches. That was my original trend line, which we broke above and then went sideways. So that's the area that I'd be looking at. And kind of right down there by this inside bar here plus the gap. And you can see there's a little bit of other interaction. There's another gap below it. Okay, so now that's the area that I'm looking for. Okay, so not really interested in trading this at the moment, but you can see how the 30-minute 200 EMA is holding up price at the moment. So if we do break above this level here, then that's going to validate this wedge. So this level is 52853. Otherwise, I'm looking for price to move down to 52162, but more than likely 51929. So 51929 or 51900 area, that is the area that I would be looking for a long. And it's pretty close to the 200 SMA, and the 200 EMA on the 4 hours a bit lower. But that's kind of my view at the moment. Until one of these two levels breaks. Until this level to the upside breaks, then I'll look for my longs again. Otherwise, I'm looking for them down here. Okay. Not interested in chasing the short at the moment. I don't trust the short right yet. And not with what I see on the oscillators here on the 4 hour either. Okay. Anyway, guys, that's me for today. Pretty much sit and wait until top level breaks and goes. And I need a 6 or 12 minute close above that to validate it. And then looking up to the downside, looking at this gap close at 51929. Okay. Anyway, guys, that's my view today. Hope it helps, and I'll catch you later. Cheers for now.